Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. The new Black Ops 7 trailer is out now. It's insane. Like, nobody saw this coming as far as I'm concerned. But what I'm really excited about specifically is the fact that zombies has been shown in the trailer already. So this ending section already has zombies present. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to break down all the zombie stuff that we're seeing here, all the weirdness that might entail, and then also talk about some of the leaks that have come out about Black Ops 7 so far, which actually align with what we're seeing in the teaser here, and that therefore might be even more legit and be happening in just a couple of months' time. So I think the best way to start this would be for me to just show you guys the end of the trailer. So we obviously get a lot of campaign stuff, and it's all very cool, featuring Milo. That is all broken down in a separate video on my channel already, so you can click onto my channel and take a look for that if you so desire. But let's just focus on the ending here for the zombies section. This is what it looks like. So you've got this big knife, you've got these jail cells, that looks very blackouty, and then some invis stuff, and then the zombies bit, end of trailer. So it's very, very fast. It goes by in the blink of an eye, but there is actually quite a lot of information we can extract from this. So let's first talk about this second bit, and then we'll talk about some of the earlier stuff in here as well, because this is going to be relevant to the overall discussion. So frame by frame, the first thing that we can tell immediately from this is that this is very much Modern Warfare engine looking zombies, right? This is the modern versions of zombies that we've seen in the last couple of years. We see them in Black Ops 6. We saw them in Modern Warfare 3 zombies as well. Like, that's just the direction that the zombie designs and stuff have taken over the years. Like, this guy almost looks a little bit like Dennis Riffle, just a touch. And then they're being approached by some kind of truck of some kind, except hold on, we also see this structure in the background here, this little tower, and from leaks we know that there's a certain map that might be returning that doesn't have a truck in it, but it has a bus. And so this is going to be the Tranzit bus of all buses, the Tranzit bus, and this is going to be a Tranzit remake, which is wild that it's actually happening, but that is the direction that we're going in here. So this is our confirmation, in my view, that Tranzit is coming back in Black Ops 7. I don't know what you call these things, these little farm towery pylon-y things with a thingy at the top, but you guys can let me know in the comments section. But there's not a huge amount to divine from this, in my opinion. This is gonna be a rare instance where MrRoflWaffles doesn't actually talk for 40 minutes about the 3 seconds of video. However, there are these earlier clips, right, that I mentioned before we get to this little section here. So this is really interesting to me because at first, all of my chat were blowing up being like, wait, it's Mob of the Dead, it's Mob of the Dead. Like, what the hell? Are we getting a remake, or like, what's happening there? And my initial thought was, no. It's just gonna be something related to the Black Ops 2 endings, for example, right? But then I looked up the Black Ops 2 endings because I know that there's an ending where Menendez ends up in a cell. And I was like, okay, maybe that's what's being referenced here. Like, maybe that's what they're going for. This is just going to be a sort of Menendez dream sequence, and it's not zombies related at all. But if we play some of these endings, let's just sort of take a look at one of the potential endings that features Menendez in his cell. This is a talk show that's going to get zoomed out from in just a second. There you go. You can see the cell looks completely different. This is a very, very different vibe. So we are not seeing the Menendez jail cell here by any means. There's a few versions of it. There's this version where he gets pretty mad. Then there's also this version here where he breaks out. And you can see it's the same cell every single time. So that doesn't seem to be what's being alluded to here. There is obviously always a chance that, seeing as the story here is going to be focusing on fear, we're focusing on David Mason and the stuff that spooks him. Like, I'm not sitting here being like, oh, these knives flying into the ground, that's zombies. Or, oh, this is zombies. Or this shot here from the campaign, like, this is zombies. Like, obviously I'm not thinking that for all of this. I think the zombies shot is definitely zombies, but the other stuff could all well be campaign. And therefore this could be any jail cell from previous Call of Duty history that might potentially haunt David Mason for whatever reason, right? But there is also the chance, in my view, that this is somehow related to Mob. And the reason I think that that's extra possible is the fact that we've got leaks that have come out stating the following. Earlier this year, Tom Henderson posted this article about Call of Duty 2025 and stated it was planned to have 6 fully fledged round-based zombies maps. Now, this is where we're going to compare some of this leaked information to some of the official information and show that it all lines up eerily well. So, first of all, round-based zombies maps? Well, the official reveal here says that we're going to be playing round-based zombies. So that was correct. Then similarly, it says, as already leaked from a feedback session, it's also understood that COD 2025 Zombies will have one of its biggest maps to date and have a similar transportation system to Tranzit. What are we seeing here? Well, we seem to be seeing a transportation system similar to Tranzit. This seems to be a Transit bus. I mean, there's always a chance, I guess, that this isn't a Transit remake, but it's actually just Transit inspired. They could well do that. But either way, it's lining up with what the leaks have said about transport systems. So if all of these things are lining up eerily well, what else might we be able to expect based on the leaks? And this is where things get absolutely insane. Look at this. So, in the map's early development, it's understood that the plan for Zombies was to build the maps from the ground up to allow them to be played in different game modes, including traditional round-based, grief, and outbreak. What have we seen in the last Call of Duty announcement right before Black Ops 7? If we scroll down just a little bit, it's grief. So again, the leaks are lining up with reality here in a really big way. Treyarch is developing the technology for grief. Maybe that's because they're planning to put it in these newly developed maps for Black Ops 7. Let's keep going because this gets really insane. It's understood Treyarch was playing around with more out there settings this time around, including a map set in post-World War II New York, where the Nazis had dropped a nuclear bomb, with another map being described as being set in a Japanese temple at the foot of an erupting volcano, which is so cool, but it gets better because they say other map ideas include a map set in Vietnam, one in Afghanistan, and another out there idea being one set in a space station in the dark ether. And what do we see in the reveal text here on the official website? We see descend into the next twisted chapter of round-based zombies in the heart of the dark ether. We're inside the heart of it. Could it be that in the heart of the dark ether, where we've been jumping around on jump pads in Modern Warfare 3 and all sorts of stuff, we end up in this dark ether space station, potentially? Could that be where they're going? Who knows? I don't know, man. But regardless of whether or not these ideas all end up being the maps or not, one thing that we can say for sure is that it wouldn't be absolutely unprecedented for them to then say, okay, yeah, let's just go ahead and do these maps built from the ground up to be as big as they've ever been and all that sort of stuff, but then also to bring back some classic stuff like a little bit of Mob of the Dead, you know? Like, that really might be a direction that they take things in. I don't know. I think that this really also could be campaign, but I think that just based on what all those leaks have said, the possibility is there. And the final extra piece of the puzzle here, which is mind-blowing, is that we've seen them reprising classic characters in the official reveal stuff. So if we check out the Charlie Intel Twitter here, you can see Milo Ventimiglia is playing David Mason, but then we've got Michael Rooker reprising his role as Mike Harper. So we know that they're not afraid to have characters reprise their roles. We also know that they're not afraid to have dead characters suddenly no longer be dead, seemingly. And so that dovetails with this other leak, which talks about the Zombies crew maybe making a return. So we've had this rumor for a really long time now. It's from several sources, and they've revealed that the Zombies original crew, that's the Primis crew, or I guess technically it's the Ultimus crew, might be making a return in Call of Duty 2025. This has been referenced in these feedback sessions. These are the feedback sessions which mentioned the Transit bus system, and what do you know? We see that in the teaser. So again, these are from a reputable source. They say Dempsey, Tank, Takio, and Nikolai were all said to be featured as part of the feedback sessions, with an Eagle Eye Zombies fan stating that they were not Ultimus, and the characters looked older than Primis. So what we might be seeing is similar to what we're seeing in the Black Ops 7 campaign, where we're going to see an older David Mason from the Black Ops 2 campaign, or an older Harper and things like that. We might be seeing older Primis reprising their roles. We might be seeing older Primis reprising their roles, just like Michael Rooker has reprised his roles. So we'll be seeing Nolan North back voicing Richtofen, for example, just like we've seen this year. But then we'll probably also be seeing the other voice actors come back, apart obviously from Tom Kane, who can't reprise his role because of the medical injury, the stroke that he suffered from. So it might be that we, for example, have Nolan North voice Takio instead or something like that. I feel like that would be the only way to really do that in a good way, or just have Takio stay silent for forever. But regardless, it seems like these guys might be coming back. And I think that this is getting more and more likely as we get more and more information about the game itself, because of the fact that all of the leaks so far have lined up with what the official material is saying. So the last thing to focus on here is the fact that we're descending into the next twisted chapter. As we always say, that's what they say every single year, but it's in the heart of the Dark Ether. And what that means is that these characters, right, Dempsey, Tank, Takio, and Nikolai, they are coming to the Dark Ether rather than us breaking out of the Dark Ether and entering like a new saga. Like, I've seen some speculation about that, but we're very much staying anchored within the Dark Ether here, and these characters are coming to this universe, this new modern universe now, which does make some sense because Richtofon's already there, so that saves them some hassle. Oh, I've just realized this is meant to say Richtofen, Tank, Takio, and Nikolai. Whoopsie. Well, yeah, Richtofen is in the Dark Ether already, so that's fine. But we've also seen references to Dempsey, for example, in maps as recent as Liberty Falls. So Dempsey's already there, or Dempsey's parents are already there, seemingly. So it's not going to be that far flung an idea for Dempsey to then end up in the story alongside some of his old comrades. The Dark Ether theme is also present in the leaks here as well, because the sources say the story will evolve around a new enemy character who wants to absorb the Dark Ether essence of the original four and bring back the old multiverse. And that's exciting to me because that means that I'm going to be rooting for the villain, because the villain is trying to bring back the old multiverse, and I would love that to happen. And this also would line up with what we saw at the end of the Modern Warfare 3 Zombies story, where we saw that weird Shadow Man looking character pull Ava into the mirror. I feel like that might be the beginnings of trying to bring back the old multiverse by absorbing some Dark Ether essence. So all of this is very exciting. I'm so pumped for a new year of zombies with some characters returning that I absolutely love to my core, and for all of the stuff that Treyarch might be innovating on with round-based zombies in bigger maps than we've ever seen before and everything like that. So you guys are going to need to make sure that you stay subscribed to the channel to not miss all the zombies content that I will be pumping out. I know I've been doing a bunch of Destiny content this year, but I've just been doing that while things have been quiet in Zombies land. But as soon as Zombies is pumping out loads of new maps and stuff again, I will be obviously pumping out lots of videos on it. Lots of no-nonsense guides and stuff like that as well. I'm not going anywhere, so I look forward to making those videos. For now, check out some of the other Black Ops 7 videos on my channel, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye for now. Subscribe to MrRoflWaffles from tutorials today.